So flatter us, Crystal. What is the most you've ever charged for a specialty hair extension service?
I knew you were going to ask me this question. I knew you were going to ask me. Now, this is not something I almost don't want to say this because this is a special circumstance. And this was a very special, quotation, special.
Emphasis on the special.
This lady was very, very special.
And let's just say, this lady was not a celebrity,
She was not a celebrity. She was just a regular person. But she was charged around the $9,000 mark.
Wow.
Yeah. And she paid it. And she tipped me too, on top of that.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get some clarification in it.
Right.
$9,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Plus tip.
Oh, yeah. Because I add gratuity to it as well.
Oh.
You got to make sure you get paid, girl.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hair Artist Academy podcast, where it's all about helping you build a successful business and life filled with purpose, passion, and prosperity. And now, your host, Brenda Waters, a.k.a. Ms. H2O.
Hello and welcome to the Hair Artist Academy podcast. I am your host, Brenda Waters, but many of you know me as Ms. H2O. Our featured guest today is an entrepreneur and beauty relationship specialist. She started her career at Paul Mitchell in Birmingham, Alabama. Through years of hands-on training from top industry stylists, she has honed her skills to focus on specialty services. She's one of the most sought-after hair extension specialists in her city. Her work has been seen in several fashion runway shows and has been featured in Inspire magazine. Our featured guest today is Crystal Martin Craft. Welcome to the show today, Crystal.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I am so excited. You guys don't even have Crystal and I have history.
Oh, girl, yes. Yes, we do.
We have history. I'm going to tell this really quick story, Crystal, really quickly.
Okay.
So most of you listening in may not know this, but Crystal is by far, hands down, the number one reason why and how I ended up on Hair Battle Spectacular.
Oh, buddy.
So here's the deal. They don't know this story, Crystal. So I was approached by one of the casting directors at Hair Battle Spectacular. For those of you who don't know, it's a reality series that was on Oxygen a few years back. And Crystal and I were stylists. We were working together at a salon at the time, and I told her, I was like, Crystal, I was contacted by this casting agent. It's for a reality show. I don't know if I want to do it. She's like, are you kidding me? And we call each other buddy. It's like this inside joke. She's like, buddy, but you have to do it. And I was like, I'm just not the reality show kind of girl. Like, I don't know. She's like, you better go home and think about it and let me know tomorrow. Let me know. So I come back the next day and she runs up to me and Crystal, you're like, did you call them? Did you call them back? Did you find out more? Like, tell me you find out more. She's like, she literally bribed me, you guys. She bribed me.
I did.
Yes. Those of you who don't know, Crystal knows me well. She knows I love to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I love to eat. So Crystal literally, she's like, I got a surprise for you. Tell them what you bribed me with.
Oh, girl. Probably one of your favorites, just big, amazing Subway sandwich. You were excited about that sandwich for sure.
With extra mayo, right?
Oh, girl. Yeah. Lay on the mayo. It was awesome. I knew you couldn't resist it.
Yeah. So literally, I always tell this story because it's funny. I'm like, Crystal is the reason why and how I ended up. Because I probably would have never called them. Obviously talking to you and several other important people in my life who are like, you should do it. But the Subway sandwich definitely.
It did it. You'll have that story forever.
Exactly. So Crystal, I am so ecstatic to have you here on HAA podcast. And as always, we like to start our show with a little bit of motivation. So can you share with our audience your favorite empowerment quotes?
Yes, this is absolutely one of my favorite quotes. It is from my mentor, John C. Maxwell. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Whew.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And how does that resonate for you?
just in my experience with people and working in a people industry, I've realized that just taking a minute and listening and really showing another person that you really care about what they're saying, it just makes all the difference in that other person's view of who you are as a person, as a stylist, as a professional. They just value you a lot more because you're a good listener. And so this quote just really resonates with me because it shows you what's possible if you stop thinking about you for a second and really focus on somebody else.
Oh my God, I love it. You're setting the tone for the show already because I share a lot with my students and people that I coach. I tell them you have to learn to listen, and you have to listen in order to learn.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Crystal, let's talk a little bit about your personal story. I think our personal stories are so valuable. A lot of people really shy away from sharing the innermost parts of their story, but sometimes when you open up and, like you were just saying, learn about people, it really helps you build that connection a lot more.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, I don't even know where to start. There's so much. I think really my story, and I have to be real with people. I have to be real with you guys and really share my heart. My story starts as a young child and being a child living in a family that was below poverty level. We lived on welfare food stamps. There were days when we didn't have any food in our house, and the neighbors would bring over loaves of bread, and we were getting food from the church, and my mom would give me the last couple of food stamps that she had left. She'd save them, and I'd run up to the convenience store, and I would buy candy and popsicles, and I just thought it was the best thing ever. And of course, I didn't know the difference, because that's how I had always grown up. So I didn't know that I was in poverty. I didn't know that I was without. But when I started to really become engaged in school and trying to make friends, I could see that I was different. And it was hard for me to make friends. So for me to be in a field where I'm dealing with people and confidence and belief and all these things, all these incredible things, for a young girl that grew up in a situation where people would make fun of me. Nobody liked me. My clothes were dirty. I was not somebody you wanted to be friends with because I was the little ugly girl down the street that had nothing. And, people were just mean. And it took me a lot to get through that. I actually ended up in the foster care system. My mother had some issues, and so I ended up in the foster care system, and I was there probably for about 3 years. And at the end of that, and it was a great experience. It wasn't anything that I'm, ashamed of. I'm very, very thankful for that. I really do feel like God put me there for a reason, and you'll find that out later. But, as my journey kept going, I was introduced to the people that I call my parents today. A wonderful couple found me. I say they found me, but they put so much belief in me. It was actually my band director in high school, and that was one of the ways I really got through the days was playing. I would play the flute, and it was my getaway, my escape, and they poured into me, and they adopted me when I was 17 and told me I could do anything, I could accomplish anything, I could be anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this true? Like, is this real? Like, they really think I could do something? And so, of course, I go to college and I get a, 4-year degree. Well, it ended up being 5-year degree in psychology because, I was messed up. So I wanted to know why we were all messed up, So that was kind of my thing. And then after I graduated, could you believe I spent $40,000 on a college degree? And I go to my parents and I say, Mom and Dad, thanks so much for helping me through college, but I think I want to be a hairstylist.
Wow.
And they both looked at me and they said, well, honey, if that's what you want to do, then you're going to go to the best school. You're going to get the best education. You're going to go to the best people. You're going to learn from the people that are doing it, and you can do it. And that was probably the time in my life when I realized, like, or truly realized that anything is possible. It didn't matter how much money I spent to go through college. It didn't matter that I had just gotten a degree and I'm not doing anything with it, which now later I kind of am in a way. But the fact that they believed enough in me to do that and to go through that with me. And so I signed up and went to Paul Mitchell School and went through my training, and I trained with some really great people, and I just couldn't stop learning. I just learned. That's all I wanted to do. I just tried to surround myself with awesome people that I wanted what they had. And that's kind of what led me to where I am today, honestly.
What an extraordinary story. What an extraordinary story. So you start in poverty on welfare.
Yeah.
You're the little kid, probably all the bullies were attracted to you.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loved to punch the little crystal girl yeah.
Oh my God. Look, and you were a natural redhead, right?
I am. Yes, I had red hair, freckles. Could you just imagine? Just imagine. It was awful.
Oh my God. So how is it that you remain positive even through all what some people would call the lowest points of their life, all the negativity, all the kids picking on you, going through foster care, possibly having, I don't know if you had foster parents that you didn't like. How did you remain positive in all of that?
That is a really good question. I don't know. I really think that God, and whatever anybody's beliefs are, God is very important to me. And I know that he put something in me that it was like a fire that I knew that there was something better for me, even though I didn't have any of that at the time. I mean, one of my foster parents, she would make me pick up every single strand of hair on the floor in the bathroom and get down on my hands and knees and Windex the floor after I had mopped it. Like, wow. It was things like that, and she was a nice lady. It's just things like that I would, be like, what? This is so stupid. Like, why am I doing this? But, I don't know. I don't know why I kept going the way I did. I really just feel like God used me as a tool to put me through some things so that I could help other people realize that you can get through it. And don't think that it was easy. Mentally, even though I would try to be positive, I still felt a desire in me where I would pray that I would just be, I would just end it all. Like where I could just go away or disappear because I was so unimportant. Wow. Nobody cared about me. Nobody loved me. I didn't matter. I mean, I went through all that just so you know, even though on the outside I seemed like I had it together, I was not together on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that's so important that you brought that up because I think a lot of people feel that way. And as beautypreneurs, we interact with people on a daily basis. And I think people mirror back to you what you kind of feel about yourself. We have our clients, who come to us every day and they sit in our chairs and they may share the very innermost parts of their life with us. And, they might sit there and say, you know what, I don't feel pretty. I don't feel important. I'm stupid. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm undeserving. And they may not use those exact words, but you can hear it. There's a thread of it in their conversation with you. So, Crystal, what do you say to a person who's feeling like that now? A person who's like, I don't feel important. I am not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'll never find a man to marry me. We all say we have these negative thoughts and these thought processes in our head. What would you say to a person?
Well, the first thing, I get this all the time. And I really feel like I've kind of honed this skill because, for you to be able to talk the talk, sometimes you have to walk the walk. I would just turn their chair around. I would grab their hand because I believe in personal touch. And I'd look them in the eyes and I would say to them, do you know how worthy you are? Do you know how important you are? You are special. Those affirmations, those words of affirmation, they may not matter to you in the moment. Like you may not think they're making a difference, but when you say that to somebody, like it changes their perspective because I do believe that thoughts are things. Whatever we think about, we bring about. So I know 100% know how to fix somebody's bad thoughts or fix something in somebody's life. If they don't like the way their life is going, I know how to fix it. You fix your mind. Like you figure out what the problem is and you fix it. But people that are so down and and they come to you, they come to us as specialists to really help them and help them see their full potential and talk. Well, we're like therapists, really.
Yes. Yes.
They're not paying you just for you to do great hair. They're paying you for you to hear them out and for someone else to talk to about their problems with, is what they're doing. So you have to become really skilled in listening and empathizing and being able to be there for somebody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's just something that comes with time.
And I think that's something that separates an ordinary stylist or beautypreneur from an extraordinary stylist or beautypreneur. Because when you learn how to listen to someone and connect, that's really, if you really think in the grand scheme of things, it's over 7 billion people on this planet, right? But so many of us feel alone. With all these amazing people here, so many people feel alone because they're lacking that connection. They're lacking someone that they can look, right in their eyes and they can talk and feel like they're being heard.
Absolutely. It makes all the difference. I've had so many people that have come to me later and said, you really, really made a difference in my life that day. And I was in a bad place where I didn't think I could go on any further. And just from you caring about me for that one, for that an hour appointment, you changed the way I felt about myself. And that's priceless.
That is priceless.
Brenda, so much of what we do is way more than just hair, than making people feel, good on the outside. We're trained to make people feel good on the inside as well. That's part of our job. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, it's 80% of the way you make somebody feel and 20% of your skill when mm-hmm. somebody sits in your chair or when, you see someone that you're giving a service. It's just that personal relationship, that personal touch is so huge.
Absolutely. So, Crystal, why do you feel relationship building is so important? This is a piece that not many people get. Why is this a big part of building a business or a career? What is the thing that people should know about relationship building?
Oh, Brenda, it's everything. Any business in this whole world, like any business that you have, it doesn't matter what you do, people do business with people that they love and they trust. And when you develop a relationship, that creates loyalty. That creates a sense of someone coming to you versus, someone that they've had maybe one conversation with. They may not come and have you do their hair or have you do a service on them right away. But if you keep that relationship going, they're going to come back to you when they need you. And that's money in your pocket, honestly. And it's everything.
Mm-hmm. It took me a while to get it, though. When we first started out, many of us are just so focused on the money because at that point, you're usually so broke, you're just like, I just need to make some money. Mm-hmm. I need to make some money. But once I started to shift my consciousness around, the foundation of building any business, any successful business is building relationships. Everything that I did changed from that point. My consultations changed. The way I interacted with my clients changed. We learned something at the salon where we were working at the time that was so valuable for me that I never thought about it. Not to look at your clients through the mm-hmm. mirror, like turn them around and look them in their eye.
I remember that.
It's huge, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's something, what is it? The eyes are the window to the soul?
It is, yeah.
So just being able to look your clients in the eye while you're doing a consultation it's the small things like that help you really connect. And it's really about connecting, building those relationships and listening. And that's what your clients are looking for, regardless of, like you just said, Crystal, regardless of what industry you're in. It doesn't have to be, beauty related. It could be any business in any industry. This still holds true.
Yes, absolutely. And, that was huge for me when I got that. And I think that from you and I working together in the early years when we were in the Chamber of Secrets.
The Chamber of Secrets.
I have to tell them. Okay, so the listeners don't really know. They don't know our history. When I say we have history, girl, we have. Crystal has seen me at some of my lowest moments. Like, seriously, she has had to like literally wipe tears from my face and hug me and tell me, buddy, it's gonna be okay.
Yes.
But so we had this huge salon that we were working in. It was amazing. We had a great group of individuals. We were like family. We all worked together. The people who owned the salon, the Benjamin and Joseph, were fabulous. They were amazing. And so there's this huge space, but Crystal and I ended up in this very small nook portion of the salon, which was awesome because it was very private and we both had a specialty and our clients would come in and they felt great. They felt that all the attention was on them. But the clients, I don't know if the name came from us or the clients. I can't remember.
I think we just made it up one day. I think you made it up, actually.
We called it the Chamber of Secrets. It was, and boy, did we have some secrets shared in that chamber.
The things that would come through that room, I'm telling you, literally, we should have gotten a PhD in psychology with what we dealt with in that room. It was.
Oh my God! Do we have some stories? We'll have to come back on another show and talk about our story, our Chamber of Secret stories.
Yes, it was crazy, girl, crazy.
Oh my God! So let's talk about that a little bit. So you eventually develop a specialty. So tell our listeners what you specialize in.
I specialize in hair extensions. And I did specialize in the beginning of my specialty career in thermal reconditioning.
And why do you feel it's important to have a specialty or a concentration?
Because it sets you apart from everybody else, to be honest with you. And it kind of really fell into my lap, if being honest. I wasn't seeking out to specialize in anything. I was just surrounding myself with people that I wanted to be like. And so I would learn everything that they could teach me. And honestly, Brenda, I mean, you were probably one of the biggest mentors to me in my career as far as teaching me how to believe in myself and being able to coach me through some of the placement and just the way that we did extensions. The way you do extensions, nobody else does like you. So
thank you.
To be able, you're welcome. I mean it.
I did not pay her to say that.
No, she didn't know I was going to say that, actually. But I learned a lot of what I know from you, and it really has paid off in a big way. But no, I didn't think I would be doing that, but I really fell in love with extensions, and I really fell in love with, honestly, even though we did hear a lot of stories in that room, people that have issues with their hair or with anything really, just need somebody to talk to, like I said before. And it was really nice to be able to give them a little bit of comfort. So I felt that I was doing two jobs in one, honestly. And it really fueled me.
Yeah, so you're changing their hair and changing their life all at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
That is awesome. So let's talk about that a little bit. We do have clients who come to us and they're in very special situations. And I feel the same way you do, Crystal. Many of the clients that I have met, I connected on a very deep level because they had a story. Our personal stories, it's so important for us to tell and share. And many of our clients share their personal stories with us. So there are people who come in and they sit down and sometimes they're in tears, right?
Oh, girl. Yes, absolutely. And your heart just breaks, and there's nothing at that moment. What you say next is going to matter, you know?
Absolutely. So, it's very important that we listen. As we talked about at the top of the show, we learn to listen, and we listen in order to learn, because that is the key, is a fundamental key to building anything, to building relationships, to building a business. Because I always tell people, even when you're starting a business, if you listen, your customers and your clients will tell you what they need.
Oh, yeah, they will.
They will tell you what they need. And essentially, any great business, that's what you're doing. You're solving a need. If there's a problem, you provide the solution, and people will pay you well for it, right?
Very well. Yes, they will. People will pay you what you're worth, and so you have to know your value as well.
Oh, you said it. Let's talk about it.
Oh, here we go.
You said it. Let's talk about it. Pay you what you're worth. Crystal, can you elaborate on that?
Yes, girl. Yes. That is something that I struggled with in the beginning, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, should I charge this much for a haircut? I don't think that she has that much money, and I don't want to freak her out. And finally, I mean, through all the mentorships and the people that I had surrounding me, they're like, why not charge that? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you're worth that? Do you want to be a millionaire? Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, then charge what you're worth. They will pay it. And trust me, when I started charging what I was worth, they paid it. No questions. And the people that couldn't pay it, oh my gosh, they just went away, and it was replaced with people that could. So, you kind of weed out the ones that aren't going to be, supportive financially for you, and you bring in more people that align with you, align with your energy, align with what you want. And those people come in, and your income grows. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And Crystal, there are some people who are listening in right now, and they may not be there.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
They may not be in that place where let's go back a few years, several years for you and I, when we were in that place, like, oh my God, I don't know if I can charge that. What if they can't pay it? What if they look at me like I'm crazy? Like, let's go through that process for people, how we got from, where'd you start with your haircuts? I think I started at $45 for a woman's haircut.
I think I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. In the salon here in Atlanta. But initially, when I was in college, I think I only charged $10.
Oh.
Like, I didn't think I was that good. So I was like, I can't charge more than $10.
Wow. I was never that low.
So then I went from 10 to, I think, starting at 45 when I really got on the floor here in Atlanta. And it just slowly over time went up from there. But let's talk about that natural progression. So tell people what changed mentally for you, and when you started at 45, where'd you end up eventually over time after doing the work?
You know what? I think it was my confidence. Well, no, I know it was my confidence, because the more that you do, the more consistent you are, the more that you learn, the better you are. And even if you're not skillfully better, you're mentally better. So when I would surround myself with all of these trainings, I would go to class after class after class after class. I would be around people that had what I wanted, and I would just learn from them. And I started to feel as if I was just as good as they were. And they weren't better than me. I mean, really, they weren't better. But in my mind, I just thought, oh, wow, if I could just be like them, if I could just do what they could do. And are my skills any better than their skills? Probably. I mean, no. It's just, it's really not. Like, there's really no difference. We all learn the same way, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
But the difference is their mindset. And that's what I learned. When I learned to really believe in myself, it didn't really matter what my skills were, because I knew that I was just as good as they were. And it was a journey for me. It was a personal development journey. It was me just surrounding myself. And it didn't happen overnight. It took some time. I had to surround myself with the right people who had what I wanted. And then once I got to the point where, wow, I'm good. I'm worth it. I can charge more. And $90 a haircut, no problem. I got that. So, and it just kind of happened for me. And I know that I had a mentor tell me one time, and Joseph, we work with him, and he said to me, he goes, Crystal, why not? Like, yeah, you charge $90. Like, what? There's no difference between your haircuts and my haircut. So why aren't you charging $90? I was like, I don't know. So I did.
So you did. And when you discovered your specialty, that took you into a whole nother income bracket where you could actually really, really charge. So let's talk a little bit about that when it comes to being a hair extension specialist. What was your pricing structure like when you started, and where is it now?
Well, when I first started, I wanted to get practice in and wanted to make sure that my skills were honed. So I would start out with maybe a full set at like $700, and
Okay, hold up. You said that so easy, like $700. Did you guys hear that? Did y'all catch that? She just threw it in because like on the low end. I'll start out on the low end at $700. Are you kidding me, Crystal?
Yes, girl. That's the low end, right? I mean,
it is.
See, that's the way I think. I'm just like, that's the low end.
That's where you are now. I love it. I love how we would always be like, it's only, just put the word only in front of it. It's only $700, right? And people are like, yeah, it's only 700.
It's only 700. It's only $3,000. I mean, no big deal. Oh gosh, you're cracking me up.
So you started out charging 700. You guys hear me. Hear her clearly. Started out charging $700. So tell us, explain to our audience, our listeners, the progression from 700 and then the next level, and what happened mentally each time as you went up and up and up.
You know what? Again, I'm going to go back to this. It was not my skill. Okay. I mean, you can teach. I'm going to be honest with you right now, and forgive me for me being real, but you could
please keep it real, girl.
You could teach a monkey how to put in hair extensions. Okay. It's not hard. It's not difficult. But what separated me in that moment when I figured out how to place them and how to apply them and how to color them, mentally I changed. And I'm always going to go back to your mentality, to your belief. I started doing thorough consultations, and I would sit down with my paperwork and I would talk to the client about what they really wanted. Like, what's important to you? I would have that conversation. It's not like, oh, let's go put some like cool hair in your head. Like, no, that's not an experience. If they're going to drop some mad cash, they want to know you care. And that goes back to my quote. They want to know that you care, because people don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. So I would sit down and I would talk to them. I'd really find out about them. Like, what's your lifestyle like? You know, are you married? Do you have children? Tell me, you know, your maintenance routine with your hair right now. I would find out everything I could about that person, and I would give them options. I would give them different price points, and I would see where they kind of fell in. But I didn't discount my services either. I did what I thought was fair. But because I was so professional and because I cared about what was going on in their life and what they were doing this for, was it because they were losing their hair? Was it because they wanted to make their husband happy? Was it because they went through a breakup and they just wanted something new? What was it? Because that psychology right there will tell you what you can charge. It will tell you where you need to go with a consultation, and it will help you connect with that person better. So that's really kind of where, when I honed that skill and I realized that if you get to know that person and you connect, you can charge whatever you want to, because you are now more valuable than the shop down the street that just, you know, threw some hair on a table and said, okay, it's going to be $10 a strand. When do you want to start? Like, your value just skyrocketed.
Absolutely. So flatter us, Crystal. What is the most you've ever charged for a specialty hair extension service?
I knew you were going to ask me this question. I knew you were going to ask me. Now, this is not something, I almost don't want to say this, because this is a special circumstance, and this was a very special, quotation, special.
Emphasis on the special.
This lady was very, very special.
And let's just say, this lady was not a celebrity,
She was not a celebrity. She was just a regular person. But she was charged around the $9,000 mark.
Wow.
Yeah. And she paid it. And she tipped me too, on top of that.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get some clarification in it.
Right.
$9,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Plus tip.
Oh yeah, because I add gratuity to it as well.
Oh,
you gotta make sure you get paid, girl.
Yes. OMG. Okay, you guys listening in. I know many of you are like, hold up, wait, she has to be making this up. She is not. I can vouch for her. Crystal and I go way back. We know each other very well. We call each other and consult. We ask questions to each other. Should I do this? Should I do that? What do you think of this? Like, we're always checking in with each other. But when you have a skill set, a specialty skill set, where you're the only one, you're one of the few people in your area that can provide it on the level that you do, people will pay you for it, right, Crystal?
They will, absolutely, they'll pay it.
And the thing is, you guys, what I want you to know is not just people in your area. I always encourage my students and those who are listening in to think globally. Don't just think of your business as a local business. Don't think locally, think globally. There are people who will fly in, who will drive in to see you because it's you.
Mm-hmm. They will.
Because they want what you have. They want what you have.
That's right. They do.
So, Crystal, you have inspired so many people who are listening in right now. You are such an inspiration for so many beautypreneurs, so many hairstylists, so many individuals who have gone through some rough times in their life. Thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate you sharing your story. We're going to take a quick break. Okay, we're going to take a quick break right now, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about a few more things, and then I'm going to take you into Brenda's boardroom. We'll be back in a moment. Want more Hair Artist Academy? You can now watch me live on Hair Artist TV. Simply download the Periscope app on your smart device and search for Hair Artist TV. Make sure you follow. Tune in as we discuss more social media tips, growing, branding, and marketing your business, and creating multiple streams of income. I look forward to seeing you live on Hair Artist TV. Welcome back. You are listening to the Hair Artist Academy podcast, and I am here with Crystal Martin Craft. And before the break, we were talking about building relationships, the importance of telling your personal story. And Crystal, I want to know something. I want to know if you could go back in time, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self about life or about business?
What would I tell my younger self? Wow. I would probably tell myself to not sweat the small stuff, and don't believe other people's lies. When people tell you can't do something or that you're never going to be good enough, I would probably just ignore that, to be honest with you, because it really doesn't matter what they think, honestly.
Yes, perfect. Now, what are your top 3 tips, tools, or tactics for building a successful career as a beautypreneur? Top 3.
Top 3. Number 1, definitely believe in yourself. Know that you're worth it and you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. The number 2 would be to show up. Just show up. Be there. Go to classes. Learn. Take time to hone in on your craft. And number 3 would probably be to stay consistent. Consistency is key. The more consistent you are, the better your results, and never give up.
Consistency is key. Consistency is key. So, Crystal, now we're going to do a segment called Brenda's Boardroom. You're going to enter the boardroom with me virtually. It's a virtual boardroom.
Oh, perfect.
and I'm going to ask you 3 very serious questions.
Ooh,
so,
serious.
Are you ready? Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay. So, let's do it. So you're entering Brenda's boardroom. You guys know what happens in the boardroom. Some major things, some major decisions go down. The one question I want to ask first is, if you had to start your business all over, you know no one, you have 0 clients, what's the first thing you would do to begin building your business and turning a profit?
The absolute first thing that I would do would be to go out to somewhere like the mall or anywhere where there's people and meet as many friends as I possibly can. I would find out everything about them, who they are, what they liked, where they lived, and I would introduce myself to them. And I would not spill what I do all over them, but I would start building those relationships all over town so that people knew that I was the go-to person for hair or for whatever my career would be.
And after building those relationships, that's when the money comes, right?
Oh, yeah. Once you build those relationships and people know, they know who you are, they know what you do, it's game over.
Game over. Next question. Finish this sentence. Entrepreneurship is...
a roller coaster. There is actually a book out there that I'm reading right now called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. So it is a roller coaster, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Absolutely. Okay, last question. Fill in the blank. I love what I do because...
I get to help people and I get to show people what their worth is and show them that they can look in the mirror and achieve and believe and design whatever life they want.
I love it. Crystal, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming here on the Hair Artist Academy podcast and being so open, so honest, and so authentic and sharing your personal story with the world.
Oh, thank you, Brenda, for having me. It's such a treat to be able to spend time with you. Even if it's virtually, I just, I adore you. And I just am so proud of everything that you've accomplished in your career and the lives that you're changing. So thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. And likewise. And Crystal, if our audience wants to find out more about you, where can they go?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Crystal Martin Craft on Facebook. And my tagline is, let your faith be bigger than your fear. So if you see that, you know, that's me. So yeah, I'd love to connect with you guys for sure.
Awesome. So you guys make sure you find and follow Crystal Martin Craft. We'll make sure we have all of that information down in the show notes for you guys. Remember, you can tune in to this show, the Hair Artist Academy podcast, and listen to all the previous episodes. Just make sure you search Hair Artist Academy podcast. You guys, please subscribe. Please subscribe so that you don't miss a show, and rate and review the show, because the more ratings and reviews we get, the higher up we get on the list, and the more we can get our message out to the world. So until next time, live your purpose, pursue your passion, and be the prosperous beings you were born to be.
Thanks for listening to the Hair Artist Academy podcast. For the show notes and links discussed in today's episode, visit hairartistacademy.com.